Okay, we're back for another tutorial of Car Mechanic Simulator, and in this episode we're just going to show you what a couple of these tools do. Alright, so this is the onboard diagnostics tool. You can see it costs 1,500 credits. The full pressure meter, this is kind of cool, 300 credits. 150 credits for the electronic multimeter. Compression tester adds a compression tester to your additional tools, and finally the tire thread gauge. Now, when I first started this game, I didn't know what any of these things do, so I want to show you in this tutorial exactly what all of them do. Okay. So usually when you get a car into the garage, you'll want to check the engine for a few problems. Okay. Now, what you do is pop the hood, click on the engine, and then right click, and you should have additional tools. Once you've bought those upgrades, you'll have those upgrades in this section. So I'll go through each one by one, okay? So first is the OBD scanner. Now what this does is it plugs into cars and just scans the car for problems. You can see in the top left, spark plugs are down, they're in 14%. Ignition coils are broken. ECU type A, the ABS module. So I'll get a list of all the stuff that's kind of broken here. Now, that's grand. That's going to be put into my overall list, and I'll be able to track these items, but I'm probably going to have to replace all of these. Maybe not that, but I might, just for good measure. Depends on what the list of the car's problems are that they want me to fix. So if I go to here, and you can see the ignition coil is tracked, so I can highlight it here, highlight all this stuff because I want to fix it. And when I go back out of that, you can see in blue all those components, and this is a great way to track what you're supposed to do. So we'll keep going on with the tools. We'll try the compression tester. So this is a troublesome old compression tester. So the problem with that is the engine won't start. So sometimes you get a car where the engine won't start. So I'll see if I have a car out here. Okay, maybe hopefully this engine will start. So we'll try the compression tool here. Okay, so what's wrong with this engine? Yeah, it needs a lot of stuff actually. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just, to speed up things, we'll just get an old Cobra in the door, shall we? Loud exhaust, let's go for it. Okay, so we got a Cobra, okay? Pop the hood, there's a nice clean engine, let's test this out, shall we? So we'll go to the, we'll click on the engine, right click, go to the tools, go to the compression tester. So this stuff is all in the bottom part of the engine. I usually hate going down fixing this stuff, but it looks like, these parts are kind of in good condition, so I wouldn't have to go down and repair these, let's say. Piston rings, piston with concords, they're kind of the last thing you take out of the engine. So if these are broken, then you might as well strip the whole engine down. So the next thing I'll go on and check is the electric multimeter, and that's to check this fuse box usually, I think, and some of the electrical components in the car. So we have like battery, we have the brake system, stuff like that. So we'll just check the electrics. And there you have most of the electrics kind of highlighted. So in the box there's a lot of fuses and stuff like that, and I'll show you the battery. You might see some of this in the red, so you might have to change it. The starter is on the engine. That's the fan on the front of the car. The throttle is attached to the engine. and these relays and fuses are usually in that little black box in the corner here. So if I pop this open, you'll see all the fuses here. If they're in the red, you might want to replace them. So I'll just put that back. Now, keep going anyway. We'll check the other tools. Okay, so I'm going to click on the engine. I don't know what's. Click on the engine, right click, go to additional tools, and the tire thread tester. Now, I never really use this that much. I'd say in the later game, yeah, you might be using this a lot more, so I wouldn't advise that you get this straight away, because I've never come across tires that were too messed up. They're usually all grand, so this tool has never helped me at all in this game yet, but maybe in the future. So the last one here is the fuel pressure test. Okay, so we can see the rail DIs and the fuel pump and the fuel filter. So that's usually, these are the DIs, they're usually on the top of the engine. The filter is down around here. There's an oil filter and there's a fuel filter here at the back. And I can't remember what the last one was, but yeah, it's great. I think it might be something like the, there's another little fuel filter around here. Power steering, sorry. But anyway, look, that isn't the issue here. That's just a kind of overview of those components, but I'll just have a look one more time, and just seeing as this was a new car that came in, I'll do the OBD scanner. Oh, you can see there now, I just found that there's a catalytic converter that's down to 10%, so chances are I might need to repair that. Okay, so there was a lot of things right with this car, but that is definitely not right. So I get out of that. Now, if I go to the examination mode, I'll see a lot of the parts of the car now are kind of highlighted in yellow, and they're illustrating basically the parts of the car that I checked. So for the other parts of the car that I didn't check, I can pretty much just kind of click on the parts. You'll see the engine says 0 out of 26. That means there's 26 parts I can check on this engine. So if I want to do that, I'll just hold down the click, and it'll go through each part. Every single part. Now, I'm not going to do every single part. I'll leave that up to you. But you should check. These are the points you should check for every car. So check the suspension on each tire. Go all to 10. So check all the tires. This one and this one until you've done all 11, right? Check the suspension here. Then check the suspension down here. And you can kind of go around and look for other things to check, but it's mostly the engine, the tires, the suspension, and then maybe the exhausts. So if I check all the exhaust there, and the exhaust here, and the exhaust here, we can see the exhaust is red there, so chances are we're going to have to repair that, but we'll just go over the whole engine at the end actually, just to see if there's anything else in the engine that needs to go, but chances are I just have to replace that exhaust. Now there is an upgrade, like if you feel that scanning these items is taking too long, there's an upgrade in here. This one cuts the time to examine a part by 0.5 seconds. So eagle eye. So you can kind of like, if you're scanning a lot of cars, you can kind of make it a lot quicker if you upgrade that. Now, the cool thing is, if you do upgrade, if you do scan cars, you'll notice that every time I scan, I get +1 on my XP. So scanning cars actually gives you XP. So if you're trying to level up fast, scanning cars is a good way to do that, because you can get sometimes about 200, maybe 200 XP out of a car to scan all the parts. And also, when you use the tools that I was showing you, like the I have to look away. If I use the tools on this, maybe you'll see my XP goes up here as well. Unless I've scanned this already, I don't know. Yeah, it's going up. So you can see I'm getting 1 XP every time I scan a part. So this is a great way to level up your character as well. So you see there's a list of stuff I have to fix. This is actually a car I bought. I plan to sell. I'm going to do it up 100%. I did the body work just to make it look pretty in the office. But yeah, most of these cars, this one in itself, if I just close the boot and have a look at what they're looking for. Yeah, so it's the catalytic converter, which I found. There's still a part undiscovered. And how is there a part undiscovered? Just put that in there into the office. And if I just pop this up here. The guy was basically complaining about a loud exhaust, and usually that's because of this. So I'm going to take that part off. Oh, that is the catalytic converter. So in this scenario, what I would have to do is I want to add the part. Just click on the item, right click, go to part mount, find the catalytic converter, click X, tab, catalytic converter, purchase, and add it. So that's that fixed. If I go to my message, yeah, that's done. So now there's only one more part, an increased tuning of car. Now that's kind of later game stuff, so that just kind of give you an idea of those tools anyway. So those upgrades listed here, up to about these 5 upgrades. So the fuel pressure meter, the electronic meter, tire gauge, compression tester, they're all really handy for showing you mostly what's wrong with the engine, but they can give you an all-rounder of what you're going to have to repair. And as I showed you here as well, you can kind of highlight them by going into the actual stuff you have to repair, put the little star on, and when you click, you'll see that you'll have to, this has to be taken, this has to be taken out, and then you just buy new ones and put them in. But that's all for today anyway. I'm just going to leave it at that, and yeah, hopefully that was enough to keep everything good. Cool. See you later.